like Mel Brooks into that.
Sounds good.
And you take a hit and you're like, probably going to regret that one. But it's like mid-hit where you're like, I'm pretty high and I'm realizing it right now. And then you're like, get your back.
I've never had that issue.
Have you smoked out of that yet? I mean, I saw you showed the trick, but have you actually smoked out of it yet? Oh, man.
Well, nothing good came. Man, I want to do a trick again.
Suck. Where'd it go?
All right. It's the Todd Joe Morning Show. Yeet.
Woo.
How we doing, Toddifer?
I'm doing well. I was
AKA
just out.
Hashtag Cruiser.
You like that?
I love it.
Was out doing some weed whacking, some fucking garden weeding, trimming the plants. My veggies have gotten out of control.
When you say weed whacking, does that mean you're stroking your plants?
No, I'm cutting down the things I don't like near my fences.
See, I've been doing that with the stuff in my life that I don't like. I've just been killing it.
No, because our garden's actually doing good this year. Last year it sucked ass. This year we have like tomato plants that are like 5-6 feet tall.
Yeah, like this year my plants have become a failure, but there's a hero that's coming from the distance to help save me. So I have a nice little stash for the next upcoming year. And let me tell you, he's a handsome mother sucker. Let me tell you. His name, Triple T, a.k.a. the Heartbreak Todd, a.k.a. Triple Nipple Slipple Boy.
Yeah, we'll
maybe
we'll chat about a few things after the show. Things that I want to highly suggest to you because you have a short period of time, and I mean they're plants. They're probably going to be about that tall. But we'll talk later about some nutrients and shit.
You said you had a couple things you want to talk to me about before we. Oh, this week it's comedians. I got some clips for you guys to watch, and we can giggle too.
And then maybe you'll understand our sense of humor a little bit more, or why we have the sense of humor that we do have a little bit more. Hold on a second.
Honestly, if they're watching us, we've been doing this now for a couple months. I feel like they kind of get who we are, what we are, how we operate.
But sometimes when you're like, hey, these are our influences, people are really like, oh, okay.
I thought they thought our biggest influence was marijuana.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
So today, and I put this on Facebook, so you probably saw this, maybe.
I didn't. I just woke up. I have not been on social media yet.
There are many people in the world that it's birthday today, but two in particular stick out. Harrison Ford, he is 82 today. That's right. And as we all just saw yesterday in the trailer for Captain America 4, Harrison Ford is in it, and he looks real good for being 82.
He's looking awfully red to me. He looks very red. He looks jacked, though, like way bigger than I remember him being. Like maybe he could fight a Hulk or something.
It's possible. He could. And this will actually lead into my kind of my first one, apparently, appropriately enough. Okay. It is Cheech Marin's 78th birthday.
Wow. The lighter to our bowl.
Mm-hmm. And I think our bowl, Mr. Tommy Jong, is in his early 80s. He was a few years older than Cheech, to be honest with you. I want to say he's between 80 and 82.
All right, now we're going to go Price is Right rules. If you are incorrect, you lose, and I'm going to kick you out, and I'll do the show by myself.
Okay, I said he was between 80 and 82.
Or I'll have just Garrett come on, and it'll be the Todd or the Garrett and Joe morning show. He is, ladies and gentlemen, 86.
I was under. I said between 80 and 82.
And I said Price is Right rules. So you're good. You win a new.
He's washer. 86. I didn't think he was that old. But anyway. So with that,
what's his middle name? What's his middle name?
Fuck. You know, the sad part is I actually know it.
Kin. It's Kin.
Yeah.
And so he was born in 1938.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. And so it's telling me he was married how many times, Todd?
Twice. I know Shelby, unless Shelby's his only wife. I don't think she was, though.
So he was married twice. He was married from 1960 to 1970, with my math may be wrong, 22 to 28. And then when he was 33, probably, and Shelby Chong, so they've been wow. And one of his one of his daughters was married to who? Who's his former son-in-law?
I don't even remember that.
C. Thomas Howell, Pony Boy himself.
No shit.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, because his daughter does acting and whatnot, I believe. Fun fact, for a short period of time, Cheech was actually married to this kid I went to school with, his aunt.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. If you look up Cheech, yeah. So if you look up Cheech at some point in time, if you see somebody, or last name would have been like Morley, like Morley. It was actually funny because we were watching. He would tell us that, but you're like, oh, okay. But we were watching back in the day when Entertainment Television had like the Hollywood True Life ones. It was Cheech and Chong, and they even said it.
Darlene Morley.
Yep. I don't know. It wasn't long.
Darlene Morley, 1975 to 84. So they got divorced the year before I was born.
Yeah. So, with that being said,
we're doing comedians.
Comedians is the topic today. So, yeah, Cheech and Chong. I mean, a lot of people are like, wait, they're movie stars. It's like, yeah, but that was their skits, if you didn't know that. That was the thing they did at their, shows and then turned it into movies and whatever. So I don't have a long one, but I have what I feel is one of the more iconic. Just it's more of an audio skit than like a video, but just it's just their thing. So,
and we will now be entering Todd mode.
It's me, Dave. Open up, man. I got the stuff.
Where's the midget porn?
Who is it?
It's me, Dave, man. Open up. I got the stuff.
Who?
It's Dave, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me come in here. What the?
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with me.
Who?
Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Come on, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me.
Dave's not here.
Open up the door. It's Dave.
Who?
Dave. D-A-V-E. Will you open up the goddamn
Dave?
door? Yeah, Dave.
Dave?
Right, man. Dave. Now, will you open up the door?
Dave's not here.
Oh.
it was just one of the, like, there's a couple different ones. And I actually, because, now this is something that is just side whatever, like almost, hold on. No. Every comedian that I have listed, I have also seen live.
It's crazy because every comedian that I have listed, I definitely did not see any of them live.
So I saw Cheech and Chong twice, once down in Philly, and then front row seats at Turning Stone.
That's awesome.
They did with Shelby, Tommy's wife, who is she's a fucking riot too. But they did all their, it was like watching one of their shows from back in the 70s. Like that's what they did, was all the skits, all the stuff. They started with the lowrider one, like it just, and it was fucking great. But, and of course, why did I start really watching Cheech and Chong? Marijuana.
But so like that's the same with me. So all three of mine are stand-up comedy. I probably watched prior to be like 15 and younger. So this is like the early stuff that really got me into like, oh, this is like you can go up and just talk and tell funny stories and people are gonna laugh at you. Again, like with me, Cheech and Chong was something that it was 16 posts when I started dabbling in the devil's lettuce. And so funny thing, like it's been said on here, my favorite writer, director, and celebrity is Kevin Smith. And Cheech and Chong were really the archetype for Jay and Silent Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is very, very funny is have you been watching That 90s Show at all?
I have not. I saw clips and I want to watch it. I just got Netflix back and actually restarted watching Trailer Park Boys.
So last week, part 2 of season 1 of That 90s Show came out. And Tommy Chong, very famously, plays what's the fucking character's name?
Damn it, I know it too.
I keep saying Lou in my head, but I know it's not so ridiculous. Lou. It's very, very like one syllable. Leo. Yeah, I keep saying Lou. Leo. So in the last episode of, and this isn't really spoilers, this is just cool. The last episode of season 1, they're having a retirement party for Leo. And at the end of the episode, you find, like, Jay and Silent Bob, like, crash the party. And you find out that Silent Bob is Leo's son.
Nice.
But they didn't necessarily, because he just kept on calling him son or sonny. So they look like Jay and Silent Bob. They don't say they're Jay and Silent Bob, but it would make sense if they were.
Yeah.
And they are dressed.
It was that 90s show. It was, so
I
just watched
I don't know.
Reboot.
Yeah. And they're coming out Mallrats 2.
Yep.
And they had Clerks 3. So this next clip, I want to say this is, and I don't know how much this is going to reflect my parents, but this is probably one of the first stand-up comedy things I've watched. And I don't know if I should have been watching it.
Huh.
It's a little Eddie Murphy.
The white family freaked me out and shit. I went to Fresh Air Fund. Never go to that? Where they take a kid like from the... I had a mother that would throw a shoe at you at the drop of a dime and fuck you up wherever she was aiming. It was bad with her shoe. She would like carry that shit like a gun. By the time I was like 10, my mother was like Clint Eastwood with a shoe. And you fuck up, my mother walk in the room was like... Why'd you eat the ice cream off the floor? I didn't know I was going bad. Accurate. You be in a supermarket and shit and be grabbing cereal off the counter going, Ma, can we get this? She'll say, I get that. They can be doing 3 different things. Be on the phone with my grandmother and be cooking with this hand, have the phone like this and be saying, yeah, mama, hold on a second. Bam! Fuck you up. And God forbid my mother be dressed up and have them high-heeled Jimsons on, them pumps, but then she get boomerang action going on your ass. And fuck you up in the room. You won't even know what the fuck happened. They can hear you when they're getting ready to walk out the door. They hear you on the bunk beds fucking around. They got that mother hearing. They hear that shit. They say, wait a minute, baby. Let's go. She was the one that did all the disciplining around the house and shit. My mom would fuck us up. Very, very strict house I came from. And I remember when I first went to my first like contact with a white family freaked me out.
So that's like I remember seeing that as a kid and find like that's like the first like stand up like bit I can remember ever seeing and thinking it was like my mom I get that like my mom beats me too, you know, like it was he understands me, you know.
Yeah, no, he
but
was.
I probably should have been watching
the,
that.
I like the Michael Jackson-esque attire.
And like that, he's so famous for that red suit, like and those kind of things from back then. Did you watch the new Beverly Hills Cop yet?
No, I haven't had much time to watch much of
Well,
anything.
it's on Netflix, and what's crazy is he doesn't do that, or you know, that famous laugh of his anymore. And I was watching an interview, and people are like, "Why wasn't Axel Foley doing his famous laugh?" And Eddie Murphy's like, "That wasn't Axel's laugh. That was my laugh." And I got so like self-conscious about it because people always like talked about it.
Yeah.
Like, I had to teach myself how to not laugh like that, which blew my fucking mind. How do you teach yourself not to laugh? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, that's yeah. Now I got to pay attention to how I laugh, so I don't laugh like I naturally do.
I kind of do like when it's like something I find very, very funny. I do like a very Axel Foley-esque, like, like I can't even do it like without actually.
Yeah.
So make me laugh, and I'll do it for you.
Hold on. Uno momento, por favor.
I'm por favoring. Am I por favoring to you, Todd?
You are hot as hell.
Ooh, go on.
Mm-hmm.
So while Todd does that, I'll show a little picture of my graduation day because it is graduation season.
It is graduation season.
Look at those
Graduated
cool red,
Joe.
look at those cool red sunglasses I have on.
Nice. Sexy.
What else we got? Oh yeah, me and my dad and my sisters.
Nice.
That was probably 1990, maybe 89. All right, go on, Toad.
So the next two kind of go hand in hand in a way. Again, saw them both live. Both of these gentlemen, actually, I saw at Suco down in Oneana 1 year after another. So it was crazy. So I saw the first one here, Jim Brewer, in 2000. Mm-hmm. And somewhere I have, actually, hold on.
Let me guess, you're friends with him too, Todd.
No, but I do.
That's fucking dope, dude.
I have his autograph. And it was funny because the next year I saw Chappelle, and I brought this picture with me. So I'm like, oh my God, if I could get Chappelle to sign the other side, you know, like, but as soon as he left the stage, I left like out of the fucking building as fast as I could, and he was gone. Like he had jetted quick. Like Jim Brewer actually, like after that show, like after the show, Jim Brewer actually came out and was taking pictures and signing autographs and shit. And I said to him, I'm like, because he, you know, it was a half-baked thing. So he said something about, he's like, oh, I worked with Tommy Chong last night. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He was like, was he all fucked up? And he's like, he was pretty funny, you know, like side my shit, whatever. But yeah, so now the one thing I wanted to find that I felt really stood out about Jim Brewer, I couldn't mainly I'm assuming because it's an SNL clip and it is Goat Boy. If people have never seen Goat Boy, look it up, check it out. It's hilarious. And it was something I've seen Jim Brewer live actually twice now. Actually, I think about it. And he told a story at Turning Stone about that was like a thing he did in the bars. Like it wasn't like something like that was something he completely came up with, but he had been doing
It's nothing the SNL writers came up with.
Yeah, no, it was all him. Like it was something he used to do at bars with his friends, you know, and fucking just to be like whatever, like make people think he was all like fucked up, you know, like but yeah, but there's this iconic clip because it's just a fantastic, amazing list of munchies from the movie Half Baked. All Brewer doing it.
Cheese tonight, yo.
Not me. I guess that'd be me. What do you guys want?
Get some sour cream and onion chips with some dip, man. Some beef jerky, some peanut butter. Get some Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, a whole lot of hot. Make sure chocolate. Gotta have chocolate, man. Some popcorn, bread popcorn, graham crackers. Graham crackers, the marshmallows, the little marshmallows, and little chocolate bars. And we'll make some s'mores, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yo. Also, celery, grape jelly, Captain Crunch with blue crunch berries, pizzas. We need 2 big pizzas, man. Everything on them with water, a whole lot of water, and onions.
That's it?
Yeah.
Anyone want anything else?
Oh yeah, give me a box of condoms and what's that stuff? Used to eat it all the time back in the day. Pussy. That's right.
You got it.
Thanks, man.
Oh god, that was just like, you know, and you could tell that it was like cut together. But I'm like, man, was he able? Like, was that improv or was he able to remember that whole list of shit?
But it had to have been improv.
Because either way, it's impressive. If that was something that was off the top of his head and he just did it that way, that's awesome. If that was a scripted shit that he had to remember every one of those things, like that's awesome too. But you know, I mean, that whole movie was fantastic. But his part in that as Brian was just. It was
now there's only one of those snacks I disagree with.
Which one?
For like, there's only one snack in there that I probably all the rest of them I've eaten when I've been stoned. There's one in there that I have never eaten when I was stoned and probably never will. That's celery.
Yeah, when you threw that in there, like I know people eat like celery and like peanut butter or whatever, and like I get that. Like I don't mind having celery with like tuna or something, you know, but it's just like to sit there and just be like, gonna eat some celery. It's like, what the fuck? But he said like,
and like I had like, as like a normal snack, had like celery and like mustard or celery. And peanut. But never once when I was stoned was I ever like celery. Yeah, I could go for some celery right now.
I mean, I guess it's the best of both.
So
you're eating something and you're being hydrated since it's mostly water.
Yeah. So this next one, so I'm going to try to do this in chronological order of when I probably saw these. Because I know the last one I definitely saw last. So I want to say this is probably the second one. All right. Let's go.
Want a linguistic adventure? Go drinking with a Scotsman. Because you can't fucking understand them before. You land in Scotland and they're going, "Dude, get at it, feel right?" Oh yeah, right, yeah. Fuck you, we've got to like burn the bullets, that's it, get up in your neck of it. Sure, oh fuck sure, right? Oh, you know about my backside, I'll tweak your ass on the bullet, get it. Sure, oh sure, you dumb fucking bastard. You realise that, eh? And you realize how drunk they get. They could wear a skirt and not care. And how they could invent a sport like golf. Here's my idea for a fucking sport. I knock a ball in a gopher hole. Oh, you mean like pool? Fuck off, pool. Not with a straight stick, with a little fucked up stick. I whack the ball that goes in a gopher hole. Oh, you mean like croquet? Fuck croquet! I put the whole hundreds of yards away! Oh, fuck out, yeah! It's great fun, yeah! Oh, yeah, that's a great thing! Oh, it's like a bowling thing. Fuck no! Not straight, I put shit in the way! Like trees and bushes and high glass, so you can lose your fucking ball and go whacking away with a fucking tire iron! Whacking away, and each time you miss, you feel like you have a stroke. Fuck, that's what we'll call it. A stroke, because every time you miss, you feel like you're gonna fucking die. Oh, great. Oh, here's the fact. Oh, fuck, this is brilliant. Right near the end, I'll put a flat piece with a little flag to give you fucking hope. But then I'll put a pool and a sandbox to fuck with your ball again. Ah, you get ass in your ass. Jerking away in the sand. Oh, you do this one time. Fuck no! 18 fucking times!
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was one of a fucking guy.
Yeah, dude. That it was just, and it's so funny too because you see stuff like that, but most of the movies and stuff he was in, like growing up that I saw, he was not like that. You know, I mean, Popeye, obviously, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Speaking of which, Shelley Duvall just died.
Yes, I saw that. You know, Jumanji, you know, it was all movies that weren't like, even like Mork and Mindy, that wasn't like some crazy whatever show, you know. So it's like Bob Saget, man, like watching Full House growing up and then seeing Bob Saget in Half Baked talking about sucking dick for coke, like blew my fucking mind because I didn't know he was that type of comedian.
Right, his stand like again, Half Baked was like the first time you saw it like that, and honestly, when I was young, I thought that was just a one-off. And then I remember in the early 2000s, he came out with a fucking special.
Yeah.
And like after it, I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Because
and then
it's Danny Tanner, it's the clean freak, the perfect father, the this, the that, you know. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "I used to suck dick for cocaine." You're like, "What the fuck?"
And speaking of Danny fucking Tanner, do you remember this?
Was it the funniest things you do? The red, white, and blue. America, this is you.
No.
Is it sad that I can remember that shit still? It's how much I watched.
That's hysterical.
Some videos.
Hang on. There we go.
What are you doing?
He came out. There was a song in 2006.
You are now about to witness the strength of Bob Saget. Bob Saget.
Do you remember this? Jamie Kennedy. This is around the time of Malibu's Most Wanted. Came out with a single. It was probably it was called "Riding with Saget." I'll play the video for you after we're done recording because that I don't know if we could play, but it's the song is just glorious.
Yeah, cool, Bob Saget.
All right. Wow. Now that I'm like looking at this, I think Eddie Murphy has been, and my last one is Carlin, and so is, and I know one of your two is Carlin also.
I do have another short clip. I have three more actually. I found another one that just is a nod to somebody.
Okay, but like that's a lot of dead dudes, is what I was getting at.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, hit us.
What am I next? So again, this goes, hand in hand with Brewer. And I said I saw him live too, but Dave Chappelle. And this one, I think the first stand-up he really did, like, actual special, the Killing Him Softly, it was back, like, 2001. So, yeah, this comes from that. I just thought it was one of the better parts of it.
Much better, because now he'll learn how to count and spell. But now I'm watching it as an adult, and I realize Sesame Street teaches kids other things. It teaches kids to judge people and label people. That's right. I got a character on there named Oscar. And treat this guy like shit the entire show. They judge him right in his face. Oscar, you are so mean. Isn't it, kids? Yeah, Oscar. You're a grouch. It's like, bitch, I live in a fucking trash can. I'm the poorest motherfucker on Sesame Street. Nobody's helping me. Then you wonder why your kids grow up and step over homeless people. Get it together, grouch. Get a job, grouch. So don't even tell me how to get to Sesame Street. That is a terrible place. I wouldn't go there if I knew the way. Who would want to live in a neighborhood like that? Fucking 6-foot pigeons walking around. And an elephant that's a junkie. Hi, bird. Yeah, that's right, Snuffy. Hi, bird, I'm sick. I need some smack, bird. And Cookie Monster with his eyes popping out his head. Cookie, cookie, cookie. Like, ugh. What kind of cookies are you talking about? Chocolate chips don't do that to people. And then they had the nerve to put a pimp on there. They didn't come out and say he's a pimp, but I know a pimp when I see one. They called him the Count. Had a cape and everything. You didn't see him pimping. Bitch, where is my money? You've been late 4 times. I've been counting. How many times must I smack you before you act right? 1, 2 smacks.
That I you know, just mostly just that Oscar part was like, even out of like that clip, just that, Oscar, you're such a crouch. Bitch, I live in a trash can. Like, it was something too that, again, he, you know, as both of our last one is, and then again I have somebody else that I want to mention. Like, he's an intelligent comedian like Carlin was. Where
and that's the comedy I've always I feel like I've always gravitated to, like that. Not so much like the raunchy stuff, but the stuff I've really loved, like Dane Cook, you know, Bert Kreischer. It's that way the story is told, throwing in like those like characters, like, and it just, oh, and like you see, like in your mind, you're picturing the Count, 1 smack, 2 smack, and it.
But when he says shit, you know, like, oh, you know, like you got a junky elephant, you know, and you think about Snuffy, and he's just this, you know, hey, birds. So, and it's one of those things too, when people like comedians start doing that, you really start like thinking about it. You're like, oh man, why didn't I see that? That's fucking hilarious, and it just kind of
right
like flips the view. So, yeah, so we both got the same last one. I'll let you go first.
Okie dokie.
Because I got to tell you the truth, folks. I got to tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe. In awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the Invisible Man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish, where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you. He loves you, and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit.
So yeah, like he's not wrong, man. And again, it makes you think about shit. Like I'm not a fan of religion at all. People believe, I'm one of those people where you believe what you believe in. I'm cool with that. The minute you start pushing it on me, where it's on and I'm not holding back, like at that point in time, like I let people do their shit and I'm cool with it. But you start pushing it on me, you know, I quit smoking cigarettes 14 fucking years ago. I suggest to people to quit, or if they're trying to quit, I'm like, yeah, it kind of sucks first, but you'll get through it, you know, whatever. But I don't push it on anybody. People make their own shit. I did my right decision, and I know I'm going to hopefully be a little healthier longer than if I was still smoking. But again, I don't. But religion is bullshit. It makes no sense. The money thing, it all just. But when people come out like that, and you're like, I never thought about it that way, you know, then you're just like.
And that's the thing, like that skit there 100% altered my view on how I perceive religion. Because I definitely have with a lot of different things, a very, very logical part of me, and then the part of me that like wants to believe. And there's a lot of things where they come hand in hand, like with like the whole religions thing. Like you're telling me that because it was off the Carlin thing, the Invisible Man impregnated a woman, and like when Joseph was out there shepherding the sheep, I think Mary might have been getting real close to the next door neighbor. You know what I mean? Like it just like it makes you kind of think of things instead of just blindly following what somebody says.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, that's the thing. I look at hey, you know what, when my time comes, if something was there, then I'm just like, well, I guess I fucked up. See you later. Where's the elevator? Right. Like, you know, like I'm not gonna, but you know, I also don't feel like if there is something that they're going to sit there and judge you upon, you know, if you were really hungry and you stole a candy bar, or if you murdered somebody, you know, like there's a difference. Like, you know, I don't think they're gonna be like, well, you didn't do this and you were, because you didn't blah, you're a terrible person. But so yes. And actually there's one on this one that I'm going to play you a clip from the special complaints and grievances that was about the 10 commandments. And he literally got it down to like 3 or 4 commandments by basically like being like, hey, this one is basically the same thing as this one, so you negate that one, you know. Right. So, but this, I watched this special live again. So it was complaints and grievances. It was like 2001, not far. I think it was his first special, like a month after 9/11. A really good special all around. But this one kind of hit closer to home, hit me in the fucking nuts, and it made me sad and realize that I could probably never meet this man in real life because of what may ensue. And here we go.
A guy's named Todd. You know, yeah, it's a goofy fucking name, okay? Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd. And this is Blake and Blair and Blaine and Brent. Where are all these goofy fucking boys' names coming from? Taylor, Tyler, Jordan, Flynn. These are not real names. You want to hear a real name? Eddie. Eddie is a real name. Whatever happened to Eddie? He was here a minute ago. Joey and Jackie and Johnny and Phil, Bobby and Tommy and Danny and Bill. What happened? Todd! And Dylan and Cameron and Tucker. Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd. Hi, Todd. I'm Tucker. Tucker sucks. And fuck Tucker's friend, Kyle. Yeah. Here's another soft name for a boy, Kyle. Soft names make soft people. I'll bet you anything that 10 times out of 10, Mickey, Vinny, and Tony will beat the shit out of Todd, Kyle, and Tucker.
Again, I watched that live. And
I have a man's name. He said Joey.
It's true. So that hurt. Like it was like, damn, dude. And then like going forward, I'm like, if somehow I ever got to meet this guy, I would actually have to say it like that. Like I would I couldn't just be like, hey man, it's nice to meet you. I'm Todd. Like I would have to do it like he did it because
I'm Todd.
Yeah. And that, like I said, watching it live was like, oh, he's my favorite comedian, just like and you didn't even see it coming. It was like a list of people who should be killed. And like it's like halfway through that list, and I'm like dying laughing at all this other shit he's talking about. And then and it's just like guys named Todd. And I was like, oh, even on the DVD, the chapter is called Guys Named Todd.
You named Todd.
So this one is an honorable mention. Todd, honorable mention, because I feel even though he wasn't a stand-up comedian that I know of, maybe I'm wrong, but this man's comedic form in life and in movies for 40 years, 50, however long he's been doing fucking movies for now, and still doing them apparently in other Spaceballs, which I don't even want to go down that road right now, although this is from the original. So Mel Brooks, definitely, I know we've done our favorite movies and all that, but like he is 100% again where I get a lot of my sense of humor from. And even though, like I said, unless there's something I don't know and I'll have to look, I'm pretty sure he was never like a stand-up comic. He just like was a comedic writer, I believe, and did a ton of stuff. But this one, I have to say, this clip, Spaceballs was one of the first Mel Brooks movies I saw. And I loved Star Wars, so I was into that. And then Rick Moranis and John Candy, no one really knew who Bill Pullman was at that point in time. But so I fell in love with that movie. But this particular clip, I just feel was one of those classic, well-written, and just one of the funnier ones.
Was a stand-up comedian.
Was he? Okay. One of the funnier ones from the movie itself.
The crosser knows, not up it.
Sorry, sir. Doing my best.
Who made that man a gunner?
I did, sir. He's my cousin.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
And his cousin?
Asshole too, sir. Gunner's mate, first class, Philip Asshole.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Keep firing, assholes!
That just again, man, a 1 minute little thing of just that interaction, like, and it was, I don't know, like to me, one of the more, besides the combing the desert thing, which I think we talked about this, but Rob Paulson, whatever. Besides that one, because that clip was great. And I feel bad. That dude at the end, the we ain't found shit guy, like he was like, you know what? Did you know that he was like a major whatever in Star Trek for like years? The dude was a character on Star Trek. And he was like, and the only thing people ever come up to me and say is, yeah, I ain't found shit. He was like nobody remembers him from the many years the dude was on Star Trek, basically. All they remember him for is one line in a fucking Mel Brooks movie. so that just shows you like the impact of certain things. You know, somebody can be doing something for a period of time and then do one thing and people are like, oh shit. It's like, you know, Chappelle watching him in like Robin Hood Men in Tights. You know, nobody knew who that dude was. You know what I mean? Like, then he became big shit. So yeah, that is, I mean, there's more. And you know, I should have added this because they were comedians. Three Stooges. That was probably, they're one of my top ever. You know, it was, I got into them back in the day. My grandfather actually saw them on vaudeville. They sat behind him after the show. And I said to him, like, something about an autograph. He's like, autographs weren't a thing back then. He's like, that wasn't a thing. Like, so
yeah, that's a more like recent 20th century, like second half of it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like with me, other like honorable mention for me would be the Muppets. Like that, like as a kid, like and it's very similar to the Three Stooges. It's that real basic slapstick, very like genuine humor where you don't have to like work nowadays. Most stuff that is we find funny has that kind of like fucked up edge to it, where that is the very simplistic, like anybody can laugh at if what like a 2-year-old or a 90-year-old can find somebody tripping and falling. And then like with the puppets, it just I like that. I love that. But yeah, that's look at that, perfect 46 minute show. It's Todd and actually it's the Todd and Joe
Todd
show. Mondays, you got us at 7 a.m. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Live, you have Wrestle Fandom Radio with me, Todd, and I'll say, oh wow, Garrett, Drew. You guys all have like pussy names.
Wow. Listen here, boy.
Okay, Todd. Let me go get Vinny and Tony and Joey, and we're gonna go fucking handle you. If you know what I'm fucking saying.
You're gonna go get yourself?
Yeah. And, like honestly, like my dad was Joe, his dad was Joe. Both my kids have kind of like Todd names. Logan, and he actually mentioned Blake. Blake's the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, George Carlin.
Wow. Wow.
Who also my first exposure to George Carlin was the conductor on Shining Time Station.
Yeah, it is amazing to me that they let a man like him be a dad on a fucking show.
And then one of my personal favorite Carlin roles is the Pope in Dogma.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't do a lot of movie stuff, I don't think.
No, he didn't do much. But like that, you had Rickman, like two huge, like Chris Rock, like that's a. Do you know what we should do? Now that I'm thinking of it, we should like watch a movie. Well, obviously we can't play the sound in the movie and do commentary for it. I think that would be fucking fun to do.
Let's do it.
You and me getting stoned doing like movie commentary, and then we can like do it once and break it into like 3 or 4 parts to make it. And it could be like our kind of version of Mystery Science Theater.
Our nod to Mystery Science Theater.
We'll call it, I'll come up with a funny name for it. All right. Wednesdays, you have Masterpiece Movie Theater. Thursdays, well, you'll definitely be getting an episode probably next week of the Weekly Bugle, because with the Avenger or Captain America trailer, Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, like there's a lot going on. But and then Fridays, sporadically when I get guests, Stepping Stones. But thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing. Do it all for all the shows, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And
you should like
with
them
that,
anyway.
Good night, 315. And good morning. Bye, nerd. All right.